Good evening, I'm Dan Wall.
And I'm Laura Lee. Thanks for joining us. Residents in Superior can expect to see a big decrease in property taxes next year.
That according to Mayor Jim Paine, who unveiled his budget for next year tonight in front of the City Council.
Northern News Now's Cara Kopp was there and breaks down his proposal.
The city is improving, and that's benefiting everybody.
In Superior's council chambers Tuesday, Mayor Jim Paine unveiled his 2024 general budget proposal, which he says would create the largest city tax reduction for property owners since 2008.
It'll be a while before we have the exact numbers on how that affects individuals, but people's taxes will go down, at least to the city. On the other hand, we are raising the service we're providing.
Proposed services like expanding park crews.
We are going to make one of our largest increases in park spending that we've ever made, and so that every single neighborhood, every single citizen can walk to an exciting outdoor experience in their own neighborhood.
And creating more resources for public safety departments, like expanding the police department's community response specialist.
So we're going to add another position to increase our response and more modernize our police force.
He says those improvements will happen using state funding, so taxpayers are not impacted.
The legislature proposed an increase in our shared revenue bill. That's citizen taxes too. That's people's individual income taxes that are coming back to their hometown now.
That increase being about $9 million, meaning the city would have $35 million in available revenue so the mayor can move forward on capital investments. Something the mayor says is exciting and will move Superior into the future.
Citizens should be very excited about the years ahead.
In Superior, Cara Kopp, Northern News Now.
Mayor Paine is going to lay out specific details of the budget at the next council meeting. From there, the council can choose to make adjustments or adopt the plan as proposed.
Well, checking in